My name is Heather and I'm from America. I've lived in Guangzhou for 4 years. I moved here with my 2 kids because their dad was working in other cities and then he was offered a job here in Guangzhou. So my kids and I moved together. I have a background in culinary management and cooking, but I also have a teaching certificate just in case my husband ever had a job overseas, because he was always trying to get jobs overseas before. So now I'm able to teach English in China. So yeah, we moved to China because of my husband's job, and we stayed in Guangzhou because that's where his new offer was based in. He works for an American company, but he also speaks Chinese, so that helps him a lot in his career. So yeah, we really like Guangzhou and the culture here, and everyone is very nice and open-minded here, so it's really fun. Yeah, so although I have a background in culinary arts, I worked professionally in many environments, in kitchens and hotels and restaurants for almost 20 years. My last job that I had before we moved to China was actually in a school setting. I was kind of the kitchen manager for a cafeteria in an elementary school. So that allowed me to have a flexible schedule and weekends available to be with my children as they were still quite young. So that helped me to transition to teaching here in Guangzhou. Not only that job, but a lot of the same basic things like communication also apply with teaching, of course, and interacting with supervisors. But I would say also what allowed me to transition to teaching in English was that I already had an online teaching certificate before I moved here. So that helped me to some temporary opportunities here when I first moved here. I would say good teaching means firstly making sure that students feel safe and comfortable, especially as it may be their first time in a school environment. At least for the ages that I've taught, they've been usually the youngest in schools. So for 2 and 3 years old or even younger, it's really important to make sure they feel safe, not only with the teachers, but also in their classroom and with other students. And also, of course, making the classes fun and engaging with a variety of songs, stories, or activities is really important. As well as making sure that you connect with the students and teachers and have a good relationship, and make sure that the students not only feel comfortable in class but are learning and happy to be together. Yeah, so one of the first jobs I had here in Guangzhou was at an IB kindergarten. So I think what's different about IB and Montessori is IB has the units of inquiry that are focused on different times during the semester. So they kind of guide the students along what they hope that they will learn and achieve, but it still have a lot of hands-on activities for students. They ask a lot of questions and they provide support for students to find the answers and activities for students to find those answers. So it's not just giving them some work to keep busy. They actually want to develop the process of learning for the students in that way. And Montessori is more observational from the teachers, but even though it looks like teachers are just sitting and watching, we're actually guiding the students at the same time and making sure that it's more about building their confidence to do things on their own. It's more hands-on activities, even puzzles. The student will have the puzzle in front of them, and when they're finished, they know to put it back before they're getting another item to play with. And I think that's important also because it teaches the students responsibility for the classroom and their items. And then there's also, at least the schools I worked in, they also have daily bread making. So the process of rolling the dough, and each student knows okay, this is my portion, and they know how to shape the dough. So So I thought that was really fun. And they also have like preparing vegetables. They know how to like tear some bean or something like that, or how to cut with the like children's knives. I think that's good because they feel like they're helping prepare the food, and then they either prepare it at school to eat, or they can also take those items home. And yeah, also I think Montessori, they have a different way of teaching like phonics and writing. It's also the same as the students can choose which items they want to do for that day. Like we have like sandpaper letters, so they trace the letters on a sandpaper board, or they have different letter boxes. For example, you take out a box of letters and ask the student to spell a word, and you place cards down and the student chooses the letters from those boxes. So they have different approaches and different outcomes, but I think both styles are very good for children to do. So outside of teaching, I enjoy like spending time with my family. We go for walks or hiking sometimes, or go to movies. We read at home. Of course, I cook every day. Usually I try to bake at least once on the weekends, and yeah, just explore the local areas here. Keeping young learners engaged in an English-only environment can be difficult if they haven't had any like previous English language exposure, I think. So sometimes I do speak Chinese a little bit to students just because I know a little bit, like some phrases like how to sit down or wash hands and things like that. And also for safety, I think it's important because I would rather ask the students to sit down in the language they know than to have them fall, just for example. But as far as in an English-only environment, I realized that also is important because that's the goal for students going to like some international schools, is to learn English. So I think it's important to have like visuals to go along with like any specific lesson, photos that match like an animal, for example, or like alphabet letters. Or it's important to have like movement to along with what you're doing. You could say like I like something, and they will learn like through the motions, because if students are moving at the same time, then they're more likely to remember and learn faster like the words that are required or your topic. So it's important, yeah, to just keep the students engaged with materials, and your actions and body language and movement is important also for the children too. If they're moving at the same time, it's easier for them to remember and learn the words faster. Yeah, so before I was working in a Montessori school, and we had like weekly or bi-weekly themes. So sometimes we would have like a small cooking class to go along with the theme. So one I remember is we had done, like for a summer theme, we had done a lot of like sea animal songs and like interactive games. So for a cooking lesson, we made like a beach yogurt cup. So we had like yogurt in the cup, and then we had some like graham cracker cookies on top for sand, and then we added some like gummy like shark and sea animals on the top. So yeah, that was fun for the students to make each layer, and then they got to eat together, eat the different layers like the sand and the beach and yeah, the gummy animals. I think my teaching style is fun and interactive, and I kind of carried some of the Montessori traits with me, like where I want to focus on each student individually. So if I'm having like a group lesson with games, like asking a student like, oh, what is this word or picture or letter, I will really make sure to focus on each child as they're coming up and making sure they can say that word or sound, like letter sound, because I think it's really important that to understand students, maybe they're shy and they don't like, you know, speaking out loud, especially with learning a new language or English. So it's important to help them to feel confident to speak, and also not everything has to be outgoing and loud all the time. I think that's another misconception about teachers here is a lot of foreigners are expected to be like very outgoing and loud and like always entertaining, but I think, I don't know, that's not my personality, but I'm still able to connect with students and have engaging and fun lessons with them.